What if I told you the secret to more energy, fewer cravings, and sharper focus isn't another supplement, it's your gut microbiome? Scientists now know that your gut influences everything from inflammation to mood. But here's the problem. Most people are unknowingly sabotaging it every single day. Hey everyone, Dr. Jeff Peng here. I'm a sports medicine physician currently practicing in the San Francisco Bay Area, and in treating patients, I've seen firsthand how the foods we eat and the lifestyle choices we make directly impact pain, inflammation, and recovery. The exciting part is that you don't need expensive supplements or complicated tests to take control of your gut health. In this video, I'm going to share 6 science-backed steps to optimize your gut health, boost your energy, and protect your long-term health. Now, before we do that, let's first talk about why the gut microbiome is so important. Inside your digestive tract live trillions of microbes called the gut microbiome. They play a really important role in shaping your health. For example, about 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. That means the balance of microbes determines whether your body is primed to fight infections or stuck in a state of chronic inflammation. Your gut also communicates directly with your brain through what's called the gut-brain axis. The bacteria in your gut help produce neurotransmitters like serotonin, which influence your mood, your cravings, and even your sleep quality. And the byproducts that these microbes make, things like short-chain fatty acids, affect your metabolism, blood sugar control, and long-term risk of diseases ranging from arthritis to heart disease. And when your gut microbiome is thriving, it strengthens your immunity, it sharpens your mind, and it protects you from disease. But when it's out of balance, it can trigger fatigue, cravings, pain, and widespread inflammation. And so the problem is, many of the things that we do every day unknowingly disrupt the gut microbiome. That's why taking care of your gut isn't optional, it's foundational. So that's why I want to talk about the 6 most important steps that you can start today to build an optimal gut microbiome. And so let's start with number 1, eat a diverse plant-rich diet. Diversity is the single strongest dietary predictor of a healthy gut microbiome. And the reason for that is because different plant foods contain different types of fibers, resistant starches, and phytochemicals, and each one feeds a unique set of microbes. Some bacteria thrive on the soluble fiber in oats and beans, while others specialize in the polyphenols found in berries. The more variety you eat, the more species of bacteria that you support, and the more resilient your microbiome becomes against stress, inflammation, and disease. One of the best examples of this comes from the American Gut Project, which analyzed tens of thousands of people across the world. The study found that those who ate more than 30 different plant foods per week had significantly higher microbiome diversity than those who ate fewer than 10. And that diversity really matters. It's strongly linked to stronger immunity, lower inflammation, better digestion, and even more stable metabolism. The second thing that you can do is to prioritize prebiotic fibers. So if plant diversity is about feeding your entire microbial community, prebiotics are the specific fibers that act like fertilizer for the most beneficial bacteria. When your gut bacteria ferment prebiotics, they produce short-chain fatty acids, especially the compound butyrate. Butyrate strengthens the gut lining, it reduces inflammation, and even improves how your body regulates blood sugar. In other words, feeding your microbes the right fibers directly translates into better health outcomes for you. The best part is prebiotics are already in everyday foods. You'll find them in onions, garlic, leeks, asparagus, bananas, oats, barley, apples, and legumes. Think of it this way. Probiotics, like the ones in yogurt or supplements, are the actual bacteria. Prebiotics are their food. Without prebiotics, those beneficial bacteria can't survive and they can't thrive. That's why combining prebiotics and probiotics, sometimes called a symbiotic approach, is far more effective than either one alone. Now, the third step is to incorporate fermented foods. These are unique because they don't just feed your microbes, they actually deliver live bacteria directly into your gut, along with all the powerful compounds that those bacteria create during the fermentation process. And the impact is actually measurable in clinical studies. Researchers have found that participants who ate a diet rich in fermented foods, things like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, and kombucha showed a clear increase in microbiome diversity and a significant reduction in markers of inflammation, all within just 10 weeks. The benefits come from two sources. First, the live microbes help reseed and balance your gut community. Second, the fermentation process produces bioactive compounds such as peptides and organic acids that can improve digestion, regulate your immune response, and even influence metabolism. And you don't even need huge amounts of fermented foods. Just 1 or 2 servings per day is enough to make a difference. The key here is consistency. Pick 1, maybe 2 fermented foods you actually enjoy and make them a regular part of your routine. And over time, those small daily servings can help build a more diverse and resilient microbiome. Now, the fourth step is to cut back on ultra-processed foods and added sugars. These foods don't just lack nutrients, they actively disrupt the balance of your gut microbiome. Ultra-processed foods often contain additives like emulsifiers, stabilizers, and artificial sweeteners. And studies show that some of these, specifically the emulsifiers, can thin the protective mucus lining of the gut and encourage the growth of less beneficial microbes. Added sugars create a different problem. They promote the overgrowth of sugar-loving bacteria and yeast, and this crowds out the more beneficial species of bacteria. And over time, this imbalance can increase cravings, drive blood sugar swings, and contribute to systemic inflammation. Now, the good news is that you don't have to eliminate everything. The biggest improvements come from reducing the foods that deliver high doses of sugar and additives all at once, and these include sugars, candies, packaged snacks, fast food. Swapping in whole foods instead of those types of processed foods makes a measurable difference. The fewer ultra-processed foods in your diet, the more room your beneficial microbes have to thrive, and that shift can improve digestion, reduce inflammation, and stabilize your metabolism. The fifth step is to optimize your lifestyle habits, because gut health isn't only about what you eat. Sleep, exercise, and stress, they all profoundly shape your microbiome. Let's first start with sleep. Your gut microbes follow a circadian rhythm just like you do. When your sleep is irregular or cut short, it disrupts those microbial rhythms. Research has shown that sleep disruptions alter the composition of the microbes in ways that increase inflammation and insulin resistance. So aiming for 7 to 9 hours of consistent sleep each night helps keep those microbial cycles in sync. Exercise is another powerful regulator. Athletes consistently show higher microbial diversity than sedentary individuals. Exercise helps increase the abundance of butyrate-producing bacteria, which are the ones linked to stronger gut lining and lower inflammation. The key here is not extreme training. Even moderate aerobic activity combined with a little bit of strength work can positively shift your microbiome. And then there's stress. Chronic psychological stress raises cortisol, which weakens the gut barrier and alters microbial balance. And over time, that can lead to what's often called a leaky gut and a heightened inflammatory state. Stress reduction practices like mindfulness, breath work, time outdoors in nature can help rebalance both your nervous system and your gut microbes. The sixth step is to use antibiotics and supplements wisely. Antibiotics can save lives, but they also have one of the most dramatic impacts on the gut microbiome. Broad-spectrum antibiotics don't discriminate. They wipe out harmful bacteria, but also many of the beneficial ones. Research has shown that while some microbes recover after antibiotic treatment, others never fully return even months or years later. Each antibiotic course is like a wildfire through your gut ecosystem, and it can take a long time to rebuild that balance. And that's why antibiotics should only be used when they're truly necessary, not just for every minor infection or cold. Supplements deserve the same caution. Probiotics, for example, can be helpful after an antibiotic course or in certain conditions, but random over-the-counter blends aren't a cure-all. In fact, they can sometimes crowd out your own native microbes and reduce diversity if used long-term without a clear reason. The same goes for trendy gut health powders and pills. The science behind most of them just isn't strong enough yet. Okay, so we've talked about 6 powerful ways to optimize your gut microbiome, and one of the most surprising benefits is how strongly it influences blood sugar. But here's the thing, there's actually one single habit outside of gut health that's even more effective at controlling your blood sugar, and most people overlook it completely. So check out this next video where I'll break it down step by step and show you how making this one change can stabilize your energy, cut cravings, and protect your long-term health.